Hey guys, Sean Evans here at Lift Deals and Thrills, back again with another sit-down video. Considering how well received the compound review was yesterday, I thought I'd go into a little bit more detail about another particular experience that we had at Scarefest. I think that it's a sour note, it was a sour video. I was very sort of choppy and blunt in my kind of initial responses, and yes, I mean every single word that I said. I just think that let's go into a little bit more detail and embellish on why those feelings are and why I still stand by the fact that Hex for me is a downgrade. Now Hex, I feel as though they've kind of ruined it. It can be changed. That's the magic of the changes that are part of this upgrade, especially with just the lighting that we can see, because what they've done behind the scenes is all ride system stuff, ride programs, you know, how that operates behind the scenes to make it more reliable. And at the time of recording, Hex kind of did a little thing, something broke, and it did look kind of superficial. It does say on the website I'll be back by the 15th, but not a great start to this new system reliability. But I'm sure it was just like a little glitch. It doesn't look like it's a big serious issue because they said it's coming back on the 15th, so it seems to be an easy fix. Yeah, not a great start as the curse of the 2024 season continues to batter Alton Towers Resort. Now, what they've done with Hex from a public-facing view, general public will walk through Hex, they'll go on it, they'll come off, and they'll be like, wasn't that always there? Didn't that always look like that? Because that's what we were doing. What we did notice, however, was a different type of lighting package. And instead of that gloomy, moody atmosphere, which is the tale of the chained oak, we've now got a very vibrant, almost luminescent kind of color palette. When you go in, it's kind of more enchanted lighting package as opposed to gloomy, murky, mysterious and creepy, which is the vibe that it went for last time. And that matches the story perfectly. It's a dark story. Yeah, why would you complement a dark story with ambient lighting that looks like you're about to step into an enchanted madhouse? It doesn't make sense. This mood lighting, these purple hues, these light greeny hues, these bluey hues, do not go with the creepy atmosphere that Hex is meant to set. Boarded up this sort of batching area, and you move through into another batching area, and you're just standing there and everyone's looking around like, isn't there something that's meant to be happening? You know, it's very much like that corridor in the Ghost Train where they just play the random weather report just to keep you, you know, batched from the group that are in front of you on the ride or on the experience. But in this particular situation, there's nothing keeping you occupied. You're just in this random room looking around going, I'm sure there's something meant to be happening. And the next minute a light comes and shines on a painting, a little bit of dialogue, and the doors open up and you continue on into the actual video section, you know, of the ride, where the screen actually looked better quality. I'm sure that's the same screen that's always been there, but for me, the video looked a little bit more better quality, and I'm not exactly sure what they've done to it in terms of the specifics, but I believe that on the creator event they were given like a big list of things that they changed, and most of the stuff was behind the scenes, apart from when you go into that final room and there's like a sparks effect that comes out from the generator. It used to have its own effect from the generator, but now the sparks effect is right next to it, so that detaches from the fact that that generator's sparking. So once again, that's another detachment from what's real and what's not. And it's just so bright everywhere. It's just so well lit. And yes, it looks amazing. Don't get me wrong. It looks the part. It looks bright. It looks vibrant. And it looks magical. But it shouldn't be. It's Hex. It's doomy. It's gloomy. It's, you know, it's very dark in nature. It's basically got a Disney color palette on an adult dark tale. It doesn't match. Going into the vault, once again, everything is so bloody bright, and you're looking around and you're like, I've never seen these details before. And the thing is, because it's so light, you're seeing things that you probably shouldn't see, like bits that look a little bit old and worn and bits that they haven't paid attention to. And you can actually see the lighting truss in places as well. And you shouldn't be seeing stuff like that. The light should be casting a nice ambient feel across the ride, and that all that good stuff and all the electrical stuff should be well hidden, but it's not. This light kind of exposes all of that, and it kind of ruins the immersion. It's like you're very clearly in a light show, and that is the case when you're on the ride as well, because it's so bloody bright now, and you've got this log that kind of had subtle lights already built into it, but this log now has these individual LEDs, because most of the lights now have gone to LEDs, if not all. The lights are on all the time. So you've got this glowing big Christmas tree that's in the middle of this Vekoma madhouse that's rotating. Whilst at the same time you've got tubes that shoot these blue lights into the log, like this experiment into the log that they're doing to kind of harness its power and experiment on it. But this thing glowing up like a Christmas tree. You've got bloody blue lights shooting down from piping at the side. Everyone's as clear as day, whereas before everyone's faces used to be like in a distant murky haze across from you. Now everyone's lit up like a Christmas tree, and it's very reminiscent of the Legoland version, where it's like a party, a Halloween party, and the lights are going and it's like a disco. And that's not the story for Hex. The good thing about it is its lighting. It can be programmed, it can be changed, the colours can be changed, the brightnesses can be dimmed, things can be reprogrammed. So this is something that is a very easy fix. When the ride's in motion, you're rocking back and forward, you know, when it does work, you're rocking back and forward, and when it goes all the way over, or that illusion, you've got that face that's kind of woven into the branches. But then all of a sudden, you get this effect on this wooden carving, this wooden face, that can only be described as like a Christmas Temu decoration lamp, where there's flickers of white that flicker all over the ceiling like it's snowing. And I just turned to people in my group like, what the bloody hell is going on? Like, what is this? Like, you've got the log doing its little lighting thing, bright as you like, and it doesn't go off at all. It's not like a subtle light, it's bright white LEDs emanating from this log. You've got bright blue from the tubes at the side, just like streaming down. You've got the smoke coming from the log. That looks cool, but it's just been completely like outshone from this light from the log. And now you've got these flickering snowflakey lights on the ceiling when it's rotated. Like, if I'd stayed in there any longer, I'm genuinely sitting there waiting for Darude Sandstorm to kick in. Like, feedback across the board has been very much the same in terms of lighting. How much money they spent on this particular ride, I have no idea. Like, everything behind the scenes in terms of making it more reliable, Vekoma coming in and doing all the goodies and you know, making this, updating the system and the controllers, everything that they've invested into this. For me, it's going to offend so many people. I don't care. For me, is it just easier just to get rid of it? And I said that in my video. Like, how much money they have spent to get this old ride back up and working, this old madhouse. Wouldn't it just be easier to have got rid of it and brought a different madhouse? Would it have been the same cost? Would it have been a little bit less? Could they have just removed it altogether and had a different ride? Could they have removed it altogether and used that money in other areas? Could they have removed the ride altogether and fast-tracked Horizon, perhaps? I don't know. Like, when Hex disappeared for 2 years, I didn't see many people going, oh, Miss Hex, I want it back. It's the best ride in the pot. No. It's only when Alton Towers announced that Hex was coming back, everyone's like, oh my god, I've missed it so much. But for those 2 years, was it, or a year and a half, or whatever, however long it was, not one person chimed in and said, oh, I miss it. People were just confused with how long it was down for, really. That was the main consensus. I didn't see anyone crying out for it to come back. And when it was announced it was coming back with changes, then obviously and naturally excitement stemmed from that. Like, oh yeah, I can't wait to have it back. It's been missed, yada, yada, yada. Like, but if it went from the park for so long without too much of a fuss, I would have probably just got rid. But that's just me. That's just me because I feel as though there needs to be a change. And they're bringing back old rides or preserving old rides to keep that nostalgic heritage of Alton Towers. Like getting rid of Nemesis would have been an outrage. But I can't have been the only one who sat in that VIP room when they showed the concept for what would have replaced Nemesis. And a few of us looked around and was like, that looks better than Nemesis. I couldn't have been the only one. And the people who were with me in that group, we couldn't have been the only group who said that. We looked around and was like, that looks better. But Towers wanted to preserve that memory of Nemesis, and that makes sense. Bringing back what is potentially going to be like another Ripsaw clone in Forbidden Valley. And with Horizon linked to potential space themes, even though that's not confirmed, it's just speculation. But once again, it's bringing back a space themed ride. If that was the case, it's like Black Hole, isn't it? It's indoor, it'll be space themed. So this reliance on preserving those rides, like Jewel turning into Curse, it's like they could have just gutted that out and changed it completely, but they've preserved the core of the ride and the layout and the ride and the track system and just reskinned it. So they've preserved the building and everything else. It's that reliance on preservation. And I feel as though that could be a downfall in a way. I mean, you're not branching out into new things, and like rumors of Galactica just getting a retheme. Like if that was me, I'd scrap that piece of shit altogether. I mean, it was incredible when it come out, genius even. But now it's just like, if you're bringing it back and you're going to reskin it, the general public are just going to be like, oh, it's just the same ride, which is exactly probably what the feeling was with Nemesis. It's like, it's the same ride, they just painted it black. And I just feel as though this reliance on nostalgia may be biting them on the arse a little bit. And once again, Sean with his controversial opinions, but I'm sure I'm not the only person who thinks it, and I'm happy to be the person who voices it. So Hex, whilst they've ruined Hex at this time being, it's lighting and it can be changed. That's the main thing. I think I'm going off topic, going off a bit of a tangent. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.